What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, my sister,
Dorian,
and our friend Dan.
Hi. What's going on?
That's right. And this week, you guys, we are taking you to infinity and beyond as we talk about Lightyear, Pixar's new movie. Not continuing Toy Story, just telling I don't know if this is even a real life story of Buzz Lightyear or just.
I mean, it said that when Andy was a kid, he got a toy called Buzz Lightyear because he saw the movie. He said, "This is that movie." So apparently, this is the movie that Andy saw. That happened at the beginning of the movie.
Oh yeah, you definitely missed that. So yeah, Buzz Lightyear this is the movie Andy would have saw as a kid, which I thought was interesting. Like an interesting thing to do. Yeah. Not like this is Buzz Lightyear, but this is a movie, which is kind of cool, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I was wondering, I'm like, are y'all really going to tell us where this toy came from? Like, it's a toy,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like then they was like, okay, no, this is the movie that Andy saw, so that makes more sense.
Okay, yeah. So this is the in-universe movie of Lightyear, which where all of the crazies of Buzz the Lightyear action figures come from.
Yes.
Right.
Awesome. I think that's an interesting telling. Like how the movie turned out, I think that's an interesting telling, especially since we've gotten like Zurg and all that in the video game and stuff in the other Toy Story movies. I think this movie was pretty interesting then. Better than I thought it would be. I wasn't disappointed. Really? Yeah. See,
I knew it.
I wasn't surprised. I'm not surprised. Not surprised. Oh my goodness. All right.
I was saying it the whole time I was watching the movie. I'm like, man, this is awesome. But I know who ain't gonna like it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I hated this movie so much. I was literally thinking, like, watching this, like, is this a movie Andy would have fell in love with? I don't see it. Like, a 5-year-old boy would have fell in love with this movie. That's a negative for me.
Who says 5? Colton liked it. He was 6. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I did not like this movie, like, at all.
He even did this morning, he did the To Infinity and Beyond and, like, pointing his finger out because of the movie. And he has a matching Buzz Lightyear toy.
They said that in the first movie, which was light years ahead of this one.
Wow. She tried her family. Yeah.
I'm not right.
Just saying.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. I cannot believe this.
I don't know. I feel like as far as Buzz Lightyear go, I think this movie is more impressionable on my kid than the Toy Story. Not the toy, like it's not better than the Toy Story movies, but if you're gonna mention Buzz Lightyear and what Buzz Lightyear is, I feel like this movie creates more of an impression for the kids.
Because it's about him. The first movie's about Woody.
Most of the movies are about Woody.
Technically, the first movie was about Buzz and Woody, you know what I'm saying, kind of forging their new friendship because they couldn't get along. So I think it was kind of about both of them.
Look, I don't care what y'all say. This movie's not good.
Okay. Well, anyhow, so this movie is about Buzz Lightyear. He's a space ranger with his friend, and I missed the first part, but I think they failed a mission, right? And they needed to get off a planet by going hyperspeed. And each time Buzz Lightyear did it, he went forward in time 4 years. And he kept on doing it because they were trying to break the hyperspeed thing, but he couldn't do it until he finally did, and he went forward 22 more years. And his friend was long dead.
Wow, ouch. Well, yeah, basically. He pretty much lived through a whole generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he was rocking with old girls.
Yeah, his friend got married, had a kid. The kid grew up because by the time he came out, the kid was at least like what, at minimum 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they graduated, right?
They graduated. Then what? He gets married, has a kid, and this girl is what, 20 something now, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, so when he finally figures it out, I mean, he lost like a generation and a half worth of time trying to solve this problem.
Right, right, because that was his friend's granddaughter. So like he missed. It's more than a generation. He missed a whole lifetime.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, he said, remember when they was eating that sandwich that was the wrong way?
that's
And
disgusting.
it was like, when's the last time you had a sandwich? He was like, "Oh, like 100 years ago."
100 years ago, yeah, the meat sandwich.
Yeah,
Man.
but like when it said meat sandwich on the box, and that's another thing I was gonna say. But yeah, it said meat sandwich on the box, and then he pulls it out, and it's literally a sandwich, like it's sandwiched between the meat.
Yeah, yeah, it's a single piece of bread with the other ingredients on the outside. Sounds
Right.
horrible. And then they sit it down on the table. I'm like, the
Oh
meat's
my
picking up
goodness.
all the.
Yeah, I'm like,
Okay.
Man.
I'm glad you
like
guys
this
picked
is
it.
a
I was
bad
like,
idea.
that is disgusting that he just sat his sandwich on a bare table like that. And then like in some abandoned shop or whatever. Disgusting. Please don't do that.
Right.
Yeah,
Even if you do that when the bread's on the outside, it's still nasty.
it's still
It's
nasty,
gross,
but it's
but they
worse
was like
with meat. Like
they
things
said
that
the
are.
meat was wet.
Yeah.
I was like, why?
Well, the meat should be wet. It's meat.
When the dude was saying like that way you can lick your fingers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so who's
juicy
call it
fingers.
juicy fingers? Just no.
Juicy
I'm like, that was
fingers.
cool. But did y'all notice how when Buzz went to his room and all his meals was labeled? Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner? But
Yeah,
all the meals were the same.
they're exactly the
Like when he
same.
had.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's the point of labeling them?
Yeah, it's true. You could just grab a meal.
It's kind of like remember the first Sims game? No matter what your Sim cooked, it all looked the same. That's
Ah,
exactly what that
man.
meal looked like.
That takes me
Yeah,
back.
I kept setting the kitchen on fire.
It was extremely easy to catch your kitchen on fire and extremely difficult to put it out.
It's so funny because
Right.
I played The Sims 3 on my computer the other day, and I'm like, wow. I remember how like we had to turn the graphics down a little bit on our computer and stuff. Like you run a game on a modern computer and it just like goes
Yeah.
like
Now back in
it's
the day, you
immediate.
like, I don't need no shadows. I don't want the reflection in the mirror. Nothing, just to get this thing to run right. It was worth it.
Yeah.
It was a
So
dope game. Cool.
definitely was. So yeah. So you get to the crest of the movie once you get to the future, and it turns out like robots have taken over everything,
Mm-hmm. Zerg bots.
and then he has to work with basically they're not dropouts, but they're like the crappy people.
People who would have
They're
never
not
made
even
it.
rookies. Yeah, they're not even rookies because she said we're still building up to becoming rookies. So they're not even rookies.
Yeah, they
Like,
would not have
Literally
passed.
rejects.
Yeah, they would have fell out of Star Command School or wherever they go.
I feel like he was really nice for that situation. Like,
He was, because they were screwing up an awful lot, and they kept saying, "You made a mistake," and I'm like, if I hear the word mistake one more time in this stupid movie,
for real, especially when a girl like at the end, not at the end, but before like the third act, and she messed up when they were trying to escape.
mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, she dropped the when she dropped the sail out the ship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, yo, you might want to hear the directions before you start pressing buttons. I'm just saying.
man, that irks me so much. I hate when people do that, and my kids especially do that every single time. It's like you try to give them instructions, and they just start doing it. And it's like, yo, wait until the instructions are done.
I got 3 things I gotta tell you. As soon as I tell them the first thing, they go and start trying to do. I'm like, hang on, hold up. How about you hear the whole thing first? That way we ain't gotta come back to this.
Yeah, but it was a high stress situation, so you know.
It was.
And she was
Well,
just
she
too
was
eager. She's like, press
inexperienced.
the button. I'm like, yo, chill out.
She was very inexperienced.
Also,
I mean, obviously,
she was wanted to be a space ranger, but she was afraid of space.
Ridiculous.
yeah, I'm like, what?
Although, fair enough, space is scary.
Which is why I wouldn't
It
do
is.
it. Right? I don't like flying, so I'm not going to be a pilot. That's just dumb.
That's
Space
true.
Like kind of a thing.
But I'd rather like have the possibility of falling to the earth than floating endlessly away from it. Like, you know, Yes, I'd rather splat on the ground than float endlessly in space.
Right, because think about it. If you're floating endlessly, basically you just gotta wait until your body just starves to death. Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Nah, that's a horrible way to go.
Or
Yeah.
you run out of oxygen, and you are almost guaranteed not to hit anything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like I straight up like when she jumped out the thing, like there's nothing in your way, so you can just jump across. Nope, nobody. Nope, no, not doing it.
Yeah, bro, that would have been a high tense situation for me.
If you don't, you gotta finish the mission. What else you gonna do? Just stand there?
Yeah, I mean, she had to. You would have had to do that at that point, but still, that
It's
to me is
Lightyear.
scarier than like jumping off of a platform or something.
I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, and
There's
then it's uncontrolled because like there's no air or anything, so it's not like you can, adjust yourself around and aim yourself or whatever. Once you're floating, you're floating.
Yeah,
Yeah, very
No.
true. Very true.
wouldn't do it.
Yeah. See, that's why I can't watch what was that with Sandra?
Gravity.
Yeah, nah.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch it.
I haven't watched it, but like, nah, man, I don't want to do that. That's scary. Old dude floated endlessly in space in that movie, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and it was her fault too. I was in the movie theater like she done killed George Clooney.
And now he's dead.
Yeah, that does suck. I will say that does suck.
Yeah.
But
And-
when you are trying to be a space ranger, it's like this is what you got to do. It's part
Yeah.
of your
Yeah.
job.
I don't
Yeah.
know why her goal was be a space ranger, but you don't want to go in space.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
That made no sense.
Yeah.
Go find another career. Be a park ranger.
Park ranger. So their goal was to blow up the big ship, which was Zurg's ship, in order to take the robots offline so they can get to Star Command.
Right.
Right,
If
right.
they can do that, they can get the Star Command, they have their fuel cell, then they can get off the planet that they were stuck on.
Right.
And,
then
they didn't do it, which is actually probably the only thing I liked about this movie.
they didn't do it. I thought it was cool because so of course spoilers everyone. I mean, I guess you figured that already, but by the end of it we found out that Zurg is Buzz, which is a bit different. I thought it was going to be his dad because
Hold on. Right, because in the second movie, he said he was his father. And I'm watching this like, am I misremembering the second movie? But no. In the second movie, they said he was his father, right?
yeah, but that was a toy.
Yeah.
Like he said, "No, Buzz, I am your father," because they were copying off of Star Wars.
Star Wars, which they did in this movie too. I don't know. Someone needs to explain to me why this is different than the second movie.
Why he's not his dad? Because they changed it a bit. I mean,
A bit. They changed it a lot. It went from being his father to himself. That's completely different.
it's not that much different.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you your father?
No, but you're close.
Oh, get out of here.
And then you're talking about one scene with some toys. Talking about-
I'm just saying it's different.
Did that upset
It
you?
is different.
Yeah, but I thought it was fine. I think
I just says it needs explaining.
yeah, I think the way they explain it actually makes more sense than it being his father, because then like how would his father have gotten to the future?
I'm fine with that. I'm saying in the second movie they said one thing, in this movie they said something different. I don't know if the people who wrote this movie didn't watch the second movie.
They obviously did. Did you see all the references?
I don't know. I didn't like the second movie.
Oh well, I'm just saying to everything Buzz did in general.
Oh well, duh. You can't
Yeah, like
you can't make
even, like he
a
was-
Buzz Lightyear movie. He not act like Buzz.
Yeah, he had a few lines from the movie that he had brought up.
Yeah.
Beginning, he was-
Not today, Zurg.
Yeah, like he was on his comm. He was like, why didn't they answer? That was from the movie.
Yes. Oh man, look, that
Yeah.
brought joy to me when he was like, "Come in, Star Command." Why don't they answer?
Well, the answer. Yeah, I remember it.
Come on,
Yeah, you remember nothing.
that's like from the first Story movie, D.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with it. I didn't have any. Was I supposed to chime in with all the lines he said in this movie?
Ah, you suck.
Okay.
It was very like, oh, come on, it takes you back. Like, it didn't take you back.
I just after this, I just wanted to watch the first one.
Okay. Well, I
It
thought it
take you
was
back.
funny how Buzz actually spoke kind of like the toy did before he figured out he wasn't a real space ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like he called the person that was on parole, like I forgot what he called her, like old
Oh,
criminal lady or something like that. Or
it's
elderly.
like,
Oh,
why
he
are
called her
you
at the elderly elderly criminal or something like that.
just something like that?
Yeah,
Something
just
like that. Why was she on Starfleet if she's on parole and you can't touch weapons? Like, I mean, why
well,
But
are you
she
there?
wasn't on Starfleet though,
right. They
because
were
she
the
was in
But you were
that
junior.
doing
little.
something.
They were the
You were
junior
doing
league.
something in relation to it, right?
Yeah, the junior league. So she had to do it as a part of like her recompense for her crimes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
Oh, yeah,
these
that's
three
right. They did say
people would have never made it to Star Command. Real
No,
talk.
that's why they had them on that crappy job.
Yeah.
that. You were shooting the arrows, and every time you shot an arrow, like, did I hit it? Every time, like every arrow he shot, did I hit it? It's like, dude, y'all gonna die on this plane.
That was funny. Because the only competent person was Buzz. When they were in like with that little thing
Right.
with the crab bug things, whatever they are,
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
and he's like,
Oh
"Keep
yeah.
going." They were literally 2 feet from the exit. And they're like, "We've got to turn around."
That didn't make any sense. I'm like, why would you turn
Like,
around to run back through the bugs? That doesn't make any sense.
They're obviously incompetent.
severely
Very.
incompetent.
Yeah. Just that was just I'm like, that's the dumbest thing. It made no sense. Why would you do that? Like, why would I run back through the danger after I'm already halfway out?
Yeah, I think that was the point, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Just
He
don't.
should have told him that the stealth wore off. Like, he should have told him
Yeah,
Well,
he
when he
should
was
have.
trying to tell them how everything worked, they kept interrupting him with stupidity.
that.
Yeah, like he should have. But even though he didn't, they still could have gotten out.
I mean,
So
yeah, they could have. They just all that could have been avoided because they was spending time like rubbing their butts in the bug's face and
Yeah.
also
all that.
maybe they weren't being childish and mooning crab insects. They would have been out already. You can't say like, "Oh, I'm invisible. I can do whatever I want." You have a job to do.
I mean, you wouldn't have been tempted though. You wouldn't have been tempted to do that.
No, if I'm
No.
going through, I don't care if they can't see me. I'm trying to get out of there as soon as possible.
No, I wouldn't be tempted to do that. It's like you don't know me at all.
I would have been tempted a little bit.
Nah, bruh, I would have been out. Because what if it fails?
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, that's true. Once in a lifetime opportunity though.
No, I'm cool.
Just saying.
Yeah, no. See? Dan, you can hang with the with the junior patrol.
It's cool with me.
Yeah. So we mentioned it. They kept making mistakes. Eventually, Buzz Lightyear gets captured by Zurg. And we get on the ship, and that's when we find out it's old Buzz. What do you feel about old Buzz's plan?
I mean, it's a typical time travel plan. It's like, okay, go back in time, undo everything. So I get
Right.
that, but what he was missing was what the younger Buzz was saying that a girl actually had a whole life on this planet, and like the old Buzz really couldn't see any life on this planet basically. So we like, let's just erase it all. There's nothing to hold on to basically. I think that's
Um,
why his plan was what it was. It's like there's nothing to hold on to. It's just erase it, and it's like this never happened.
yeah, it kind of reminded me of Endgame. Like, like they didn't want to go and like change what happened, yeah, as horrible as it was, but just go ahead and bring everybody back. And I think, like you mentioned, the younger Buzz kind of realized that, like, hey, I met her granddaughter. She had a full life, even though it wasn't
Mhm.
the original plan. She had a life, and you're gonna just erase
Right.
that by going back and like changing time, and that's a good thing. Like, I think that's a good thing to kind of mention, especially with these time travel stuff, because a lot of times, especially in movies, like, yeah, we just go back and we change the past, but like, what do you sacrifice?
Hmm. Yeah,
Right.
I agree. A lot of time travel things is like, oh, we'll just hit the reset button and start over. And I think one of the reasons why I said like I'm glad this movie, like, they didn't really accomplish their mission. And it was like sort of a different lesson learned. Like, you don't get an undo button. It's like, because even though they end up stuck on this planet, everyone moved forward with their lives, everyone but Buzz.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was like when he the moment he realized, like, okay, this wasn't the original mission, but his best friend had an entire life, got to be happy living this entire life, right? She had a kid, she seen her granddaughter, so it was just like you're giving up too much just so you can say I accomplished my original mission. It's not worth it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
actually,
I
the only
mean, everybody else must have had some kind of life too, because
Yeah.
I mean, everybody was moving forward as Buzz was trying to, conquer this hyperspeed thing. So
Yeah,
everybody else
like
was
I
moving
said.
forward, growing, changing, and stuff like that. So like, yeah, it's a whole world basically that they was about
Hmm.
to erase.
Yeah, like if his friend had this life, imagine what all the other scientists also managed to do. So it's like
Hmm.
everyone had a life. You can't just take that away.
no,
Right.
you can't just take it away.
Right.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. And the only person that didn't have a life was Buzz,
Yeah.
because he was so focused on doing the mission, correcting, his
Hmm.
mistake or whatever.
Let me ask you
Right.
this. And I kind of take issue with it being his mistake that got them stuck there.
All right, so I
Be-
missed what got them stuck there. So you're gonna have to tell me.
so unless you're saying it was his fault for redirecting. So apparently they're in space doing some Star Trek type deal. And they discover a planet that might have a new form of life. So he redirects them there. They land there, and the little vine things start attacking their ship called the Turnip, which I have questions about his flying abilities,
Well,
but whatever.
It's in
yeah,
space.
he
Um.
called it a turn up. He said he
Anything
just
in
looked like
space can fly. You don't need to be aerodynamic.
Okay.
that's
Okay.
true. That's true.
There's no air.
Fair enough. So they rush back to the ship. It's sinking into the ground, and he tries to take off. Autopilot's like, "Hey, this isn't going to work." He's like, "No, I'm going to try it." So while he's trying it, the ship clips a mountain, and they crash land, and they destroy the fuel cell, which he spent the entire movie trying to fix. My question is, if the ship was already sinking, getting destroyed by the vines, wouldn't they have been stuck there? Either he don't try to get them out, they're stuck. He does try to get them out, and it doesn't work, they're stuck. So I don't understand how it was like it was my mistake that caused this, because I felt like they would have been stuck regardless.
Right.
I mean, I think so. 'Cause, like, I think he had to try something, but
Right.
I don't know if they were trying to hit on the fact that it was him doing it by himself. Because even remember the rookie in the beginning
Right.
that kept giving him the puppy eyes and stuff like that. Remember he was like falling off the seat. He was like, "Buzz, you want me to do anything?" And Buzz was like, "No, I can do it. I can do it." But, like he
Right.
wasn't like really accepting the help. So maybe they were trying to hit on that. Like he's trying to do everything himself, but he can't
Okay.
since he did try to do it himself. This is why things went left.
Okay. So let's say, what would the rookie would have done that would have made him achieve his mission? Like, how would the rookie would have helped them get out of that situation?
I'm not sure because I can't think of anything rookie could have
Because
done. What did
the
he know how to
rookie
do?
would have just been the co-pilot. Like, what would the co-pilot been able to do that Buzz couldn't do?
That's true.
I don't know.
That's
So
true.
that's
I can't
I
throw it out.
do question that about the movie, and I also think it was a little weird that the rookie never showed up again. A little strange.
Hmm.
I
Well, he
would have liked
died,
this
right?
So how many people was on the
in the
ship?
crash. So
No,
it
not in the
was,
crash, but like as as time was going on, Buzz was doing his thing. He just never.
well, yeah, but I thought it would have been nice if, like, if when whatever her name is, Alicia, I think was his friend's name, died, like the rookie would have been the man in charge. Thought it might have been a nice touch.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. So, Darren, to answer your question, there were 3 people who weren't in stasis. And then there were a group of scientists in like a freeze pod thing that they do in all science movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when the ship crashed, they kind of opened it up and let all the scientists out because they were stuck.
Okay.
And then they managed to build a whole civilization out of nothing, apparently. But it's a kids' movie, so I'll let it go.
I mean, if you got enough people. I mean, how many people do you need to build a civilization? Like,
I'm not talking
6?
about the people part. I'm just talking about like where they get all this metal from.
Oh, they had. You saw the whole mining thing.
It was. They said within a year. You missed it. You didn't see. I was just like, where they get all this stuff from?
Within a year. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah,
so is that why they made meat sandwiches then? Ugh. Wait, what was the meat?
Ooh, now that is a good question.
Yeah, ain't no pigs or cows or chicken.
Oh, you think it was one of those little crab insects?
Oh, that's disgusting, bruh.
It would be nasty, but they were big though. They were big.
I mean, that is the only thing you can eat though. So I guess eventually you're gonna have to. But,
I pass.
Yeah, I would like to pass on that. That's why I don't go to space.
That's why. So you don't have to eat bugs.
Yes.
Yeah. What am I gonna eat there? Unless we bring in a cow with us.
Yeah, bring your own food.
Exactly. Or bring a bunch of potatoes.
Yeah, they keep talking about like colonizing Mars and stuff. I'm like, y'all gonna breed some animals on Mars because I'm gonna need to eat some.
They're gonna bring their mystery meat up there.
Yes.
Meat or whatever the heck they call it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Something like that.
That's gross. Let's go back to this meat sandwich. Did that sandwich have cucumbers on it?
I thought I saw pickles.
Yeah,
Was it
something
pickles?
green. I thought they were pickles.
Are they pickles? I was like, is those cucumbers? That's gross. Okay. Pickles are better, I guess.
Oh, wow. Okay. I assume.
Yeah, wait, yeah. Who puts cucumbers on a sandwich?
People.
Yeah, I was like,
nah.
I mean, it was already an outside in, whatever you want to call it. So who knows?
Right.
I don't know about this. No one puts pickles on a sandwich. All right, so we got all the way here from me asking what we thought about Old Buzz's plan.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think we answered that question.
Yeah, I think we answered it. That's basically what I thought.
Yeah. Oh, so
he had oh, my bad. What did you say?
I was just gonna say I thought it was interesting that Zurg is because the robots couldn't say Buzz.
Which doesn't make any sense. You can say Zurg, but not Buzz?
It was like Berserk.
Berserk.
I'm not gonna lie. I forgot what Zurg's name was.
Zurg.
In my head, I was like...
Yeah.
Here is the movie we need. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. In your head,
I was saying in my head, I was like, man, I kept saying Zordon to myself, and I'm like, no, that's from the Power Rangers.
Oh, that's Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember Zurg for the life of me. I was like, what is the name of this robot thing?
Go Power Rangers.
Rangers. You're attacking the cafeteria.
God, it's so horrible. Why did I watch that?
It was dope. It was dope around that time.
Here's the movie. Here's the movie we need though. Okay, Opa said he just stumbled upon this ship that was abandoned because he went like super far in the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he found the little Zurg exosuit. Who did it belong to? Where did all these robots come from? Like, you just took over this old abandoned ship. There is a story there.
So you want the adventures of Old Buzz?
No, I want to know what that is. Like,
I will say, I thought Zurg was kind of weak in this movie. Especially because in the old movies, they kind of played him up to be like this big bad. And I feel like they didn't really accomplish that. So much so, like, this movie would have almost been better without Zurg.
Well, I don't know, because we just talked about how Power Rangers weren't as good as we thought it was when we were kids. So you got to think about it. Yeah, it got played up with the toys because the kids saw Zurg and they're like, oh my God, he's such a big bad. But not really.
Okay. All right. I guess.
Right?
I mean,
I
if you look at it
guarantee
that
you,
way,
if I ask my son, he's like, "Oh my God, Zerg."
okay. I thought he was kind of weak, but fair enough.
But they did the little scene where he was shooting that bus and he did the little flip over him.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
That was from Toy Story 2, wasn't
Yeah.
it? I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was
The callbacks.
little callbacks in the movie. No, I was wondering if anybody caught them off.
Yeah. No,
I'm
I
sure I
think they
missed
did
some.
them. I think they did them well without being too over the top. I think the last movie we saw, we complained about the call outs being too in your face and just annoying.
Yeah.
In this movie, it wasn't that, which is a good thing.
Well, it's because they don't do it all the time. Like every Toy Story movie doesn't have a callback to Toy Story 1. You know.
Right. True enough, but even then, I think there's a way you can do callbacks. Like even Top Gun, even though I'm not a fan of the movie, I think they managed to call back to the first one in such a way where it was just like, oh, that was nice that they did this, and not to feel like too much.
Yeah, I think subtlety is the key with that. When
Mm-hmm.
you do callbacks and stuff, you know. Well, I don't know, because I was about to say you don't do it exactly the same, but you know, Jurassic World didn't do exactly the same either. But
But it was samey though,
yeah,
very samey, and then you figured this was the fourth time they did the same thing that they did before.
right.
Just it gets a little much. Like, yo, we all seen the first movie. You can stop now.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. So now I just want to know what Zerg's ships is. Where did it come from? Who was the real controller of that exosuit? You know.
Yeah, it must have been like a whole race of like aliens or something that was controlling this thing. So like, what happened to them? Where'd they go? And why was this place abandoned? Somebody must have wiped them out, or they just bounced.
Or do
Who
you
knows?
think that's left over from the future civilization that was on the planet? Like maybe they eventually made all of that. Because
Interesting.
We
yeah, because Oba said he went way in the future. I forgot how far he said, but he was like way in the future, and he was able to go back afterwards.
I don't know. I definitely didn't think about watching it, but you're right. That would make for an interesting story. And
Yeah.
I wonder, well, I
movie
don't know.
does.
Like if they like, oh, we can explore this, but it's not
I
making
don't
that
know
much
if
money,
they're
so
yeah,
I don't know if they will.
yeah. I don't know if they're gonna go to. You think we're gonna get a Woody movie though? They gotta do
Does
it now.
anyone want to see that though?
I mean, no one asked for Lightyear, but we got it. So
I just feel like a space movie appeals more to kids than a cowboy movie, you know?
In a farm movie.
it's true.
Yeah.
Then Woody was
So
like
That would be so
super
boring.
old, so you're gonna be like Andy's grandfather had Woody Roundup. This
right.
is
That
what he
and I
saw.
also if you have Woody, you gotta have Jessie, and
Silent
I'm not a
movie.
fan of Jessie.
Oh, she's too country for you.
She was loud.
Okay.
I'm saying. I like silence.
Okay.
So,
I hear you.
are we ready for random movie facts?
Sure thing. Random movie facts.
All right. So
movie facts.
I don't have a ton because the movie
Oh,
just came out.
okay.
I did want to mention that I only have like one because I'm about to skip one. A lot of people ask, well, how come Tim Allen didn't do the voice of Buzz Lightyear? I think Chris Evans did a good job. I think he did a good job of capturing how Tim Allen did Buzz Lightyear's voice without trying to sound like Tim Allen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
the
me and Darren was saying like he kind of forgot that it was.
right, yeah, I think he did a good job of of doing that. But the thing was is because they were like, Tim Allen is the voice of Buzz Lightyear, the toy,
Yeah.
and Chris Evans is the voice of Buzz
Bud Light.
Lightyear. Of Buzz Lightyear, the person. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I mean, would I have always liked some good Tim Allen? Yes, absolutely. But I mean, that makes sense to me. So for
Yeah.
those out there
Good.
wondering how come he didn't do it, that is why.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then it wasn't like it was like so completely different that it was just like, well, this is awful. You know what I mean? I would say
Right.
though, I wasn't really a fan too much of the other voice actors, but that's just me.
What? Who
The reason?
the crew? Like Taika Waititi and stuff?
He was fine, but like honestly, I didn't like the fan of his friend before she turned old and died. I just feel like no one blew me away with the voice acting skills.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that much of her, so I don't know.
You missed an awful lot of this
It
movie.
was like,
I got there when look, I'm so mad because I went to a drive-in and I got to the drive-in 20 minutes before the movie start, but the line was so long to get in that I didn't get in until like 20 minutes after the movie started.
they should really find a way to remedy that. 'Cause, like a long line shouldn't like you should expect that, especially if you got a big
Yeah.
movie coming out. Expect a long line.
Actually, I don't understand why they just can't press play later. It's not like there's people coming behind you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's gonna be dark for a while, so
Yeah.
just press
Like you
play
can
later.
wait. Yeah, like you can wait to press play on this movie. That and also it doesn't make any sense because we've been there before without this issue. So why are they struggling now with this?
I have
It
no
doesn't make any
idea,
sense.
but it seems like there's just more people going, which is weird because this is kind of after the pandemic, and I thought it would have been really crowded during the pandemic. But when we went during the pandemic, I mean, it's still going on, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
It was nothing. We pulled right in with
yeah,
no problem.
no problem at all. Now it's like super crowded,
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
I don't know. So I missed the first part. I got in when he first started all his like they first discovered he went 4 years in the future, and then
Okay.
he decided to keep on doing it.
Okay, so you got in right at the montage part.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
Fair
was
enough.
this like after he got his cat, or like right when he got the cat?
I think he had just got his cat. Yeah, yeah, he got back and then she gave him the cat.
Oh, you know what?
Okay. Okay.
Cool
Yeah.
about the cat that can do everything. Are we cool with that? We're just
I'm
fine with the cat that does everything?
It's a
yeah,
robot.
it's a
It's a robot.
robot. Robots can do everything.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
been established in every movie. Look at Jarvis.
Right.
Oh, okay. I just
Jarvis
I
literally
don't
can do everything.
I just never hear Jarvis like beep 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 boop.
Well, that's funny though.
No, he didn't say that. He was like meow 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 meow. His head went 360 degrees.
This
Like,
is
all right,
funny.
that's a little creepy, but okay.
Yeah, see, my son got a Buzz toy. I want the socks toy.
Yeah, I do too.
A
I
toy
wonder if
like
they got a
that?
robotic sock store.
I feel like we had a toy like that. You know, mine is the fact that it can do everything.
Techno.
With that Robo Dog. Yeah, that
Yeah.
Robo Dog. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, we had Techno. Dog, man, that was kind of dope.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember that. That and then that other robot thing, Rad. What they call it, Rad or something?
We didn't have that, but
Oh.
I think I know what you're talking about. We also had a stuffed dog that walked. Like you
Yes, we
pull it.
did. Yeah.
If you pull it, it would stand up and actually walk. Yeah, I don't know
Yep.
how that works.
I don't know. We ended up breaking it. Probably trying to figure out how it works.
Yeah, well,
But it was kind of cool
Of
though.
course you did. That's why y'all build computers now.
We took a lot of toys apart.
that's true.
Yeah, I know. It's cool. It benefited you in the end.
I guess so, because I still do that, right? Okay.
I assume you still take toys apart.
I take stuff
No.
apart all the time.
I
Yeah, I do.
I do, but it's usually me trying to fix things.
Yeah,
Yeah, or just find out what's wrong with them. I just be curious, like why did my air compressor stop working, or why did my TV stop working? So I just take them apart, see what stuff looks like.
and yeah. I fixed my other TV like that since it like it was going crazy, and I had to unhook one of the boards.
Mm-hmm.
I fixed my vacuum
Yeah, so you
cleaner
learn
once.
stuff.
It works.
Cool.
Save the money.
I know. Are we ready for nitpicks?
Sure thing.
You guys want to go first?
Nits.
Pick some nits. I don't know. I can't. I didn't really put together a nitpick. I'm not saying this movie doesn't have any nitpicks. It definitely does. I didn't put any together really though. I can't think of any.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't put a whole lot together, but I remember there was a scene when he was in space, and you know how if you're jumping in space, there's no gravity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there was a scene when I think like Buzz was in the middle of space and his ship was too, and his ship like smacked into him, and I was like, but there's no gravity, so why did the ship hit him so hard? The ship wasn't on; it was a dead ship,
Oh, it
so he had to
depends
hop in it
on
and
how
just swim
fast
off.
it's moving.
Right, because it's still
I don't know.
moving. So
I can't remember what had happened, but the ship was like dead and like just kind of like free falling basically.
Yeah, if it's moving at a rate that is has more velocity than he does, then yeah, it will hit him.
right.
Okay.
So I got one since you brought that up, and I completely forgot, but now I remembered. What was he trying to do? Was he going to stop that ship himself?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you talking
Oh
about at the
yeah,
end of the
yeah.
movie?
At the end of the movie, first of all, the one, he burns up. Two,
Yeah.
he's a regular person, and I'm like, so you about to just stop this ship? That don't make no sense.
So I think I could be wrong. I think a person is small enough to enter the atmosphere, but I think putting himself in front of the ship, trying to push it, he burns up. Right?
I think so.
You think a person is small enough to go through the atmosphere and not burn? How do
If
you
he
argue?
in a spacesuit, I think so. Yeah. Wasn't that it on Gravity? She fell back to Earth.
Ship when she fell back to Earth.
Oh, she was in a ship.
Yeah, she didn't just people fall.
Will there be that much friction for a small body? Is the question.
I think it
People
would be
fall. That's
too.
what they call
Yeah, when when people fall out of space, it's called people fall.
it. Did it fall? All right, we're gonna have to coin that phrase. Okay, I'm good with it.
All right. I mean, either way, in the position he was in, he should have burned up.
He should have burned up, and then he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm just gonna go to the back of this thing and direct the ship." No,
Yeah, he's not Superman. I did think I was like, but he's not that strong.
exactly. It's just
I mean,
absolutely
yeah, and I'm
ridiculous.
like, I don't think his suit gives him any extra strength. It's just a regular spacesuit.
It's a spacesuit.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
that was the first time he used his wings, bro.
yeah.
The
And
wings
actually,
were a
I was
part of
going.
the ejection, right?
Yeah, it was part of
I think
the
so.
So like a
but,
parachute.
yeah. Which I do like. It was like how like that's how he got his complete suit after all the little ad libs they made during his mission, and then decided, hey, these suits will be better with this. Kind of smart.
Yeah, so at the end of the
Yeah,
movie, he made it like standard with everybody's suit. So they all had wings, they all had the lasers
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. I thought that was cool because when he said hand me something, they gave him the thing and he put it on his arm. I'm like, oh, he's got the laser, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm like, that's dope. That's dope. So he didn't just have anything from the beginning.
Changing my
Yeah.
laser from stun to kill.
Yeah. And they didn't say that in the movie, did they?
No.
No.
Dang, man, they should have worked that in. That would have been dope. They should have worked that in somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a big nitpick, but I'm glad I remembered. Okay.
That's a fair
So
one.
I got some other ones. I'm being nice to this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I am. So at the beginning of the movie, Darren, I know you didn't see it, but when the vines are attacking and they're all running back to the ship, his partner says, "Everyone back to the turnip." And she said that like there was more than just the two of them out there. Didn't make no sense. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's just y'all. What do you mean everyone back to the ship? Oh,
Well, there's
don't
three
make
of
no
them,
sense.
right? She's including herself, right?
No, because remember the rookie was AWOL because they lost him. So it was just her and Buzz.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That is true. He didn't pop up, so they were like almost back in the ship, basically.
Yeah. Doesn't make
Okay,
any
yeah, that's
sense.
true.
Yeah. And then in that same scene area, he takes out his gun and then like did he run out of bullets? Because he only shot it twice and then like dropped
And
the
then he
gun.
threw it away.
And he threw
Yeah,
it
I'm like,
away.
wait a minute. Wait, is that it?
Yeah, like do you only get 2 shots with
Yeah,
this
I
thing?
remember that. I remember that part. I was like, wait, he shot it twice and then he just gave up on it. Like that. Does it not recharge? Is that all
Yeah.
it does?
Didn't make any sense.
I
Okay.
forgot about that.
All right, so this is one, and I know this is not the only movie to do it, but still, they used a hand scissor, but she had her gloves on, or the
Oh,
scissors and the gloves. Just what's happening?
yeah, maybe there's some. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, I
maybe
get
there's
what
a
you're saying.
chip or something. I don't know. That was probably just hindsight, like, or oversight, I should say.
No, yeah, you're right. I'm still bringing it up.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one. So when they're in the little room and the insects is chasing them, did the insects just stop trying to get into the room? Like they literally
Oh,
like
yeah.
For
all,
a minute.
and they just
Yeah.
stopped. And I was like,
Yeah.
so they're not gonna continue attacking? It didn't make any sense.
I didn't even notice
They
that,
know
but
they're
you're
killing.
right. You are right about that.
Yeah, they was like chilling. Like once they closed the gate, they tried for a few more seconds, and then they was in there chilling, going over the mission and instructions.
Yeah, that
There
entire
was no
time,
type of resistance.
and the insects was just like la 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 la.
It was like, let's let them finish. Let's let them finish the meeting. I was like, really?
Wow, I definitely didn't notice. Maybe the insects have like short-term memory loss or something.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that should be the third movie. Explain that to me.
Oh,
That was my last one.
okay, all right. Then we're rating Lightyear.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a watch while folding clothes. It's a fun movie. I could watch it again with my kids or something. I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it, but you know, it was fun to watch.
Okay, I'm going to give this a pure torture. I thought this movie was boring.
Oh my goodness, she's giving movies such low ratings this year.
He
I
has
don't know.
really been on a tear lately.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yeah, and just ruthless, brutal, unforgiving, no mercy. Okay, all right.
All right.
I'm a little conflicted because it's like I like the movie. I was genuinely sitting there watching it, so I feel like I can't give it a watch while folding clothes. Like I feel like I got to give it an I pay for that.
Okay.
So we got like three different ratings here.
All
But
right.
like yeah, I was intently watching the movie.
I could see the I pay for that because I did want to know what was going to happen in the movie. Like I did have an interest in what was going on. Um, but I think it is just low enough to be a watch while folding clothes for me. So I'll still do it like that. But since there's three of us, and that means it all balances out to a watch while folding clothes, though, right? Because you
Yes.
you got the one below it and one above it, and I'm in the middle. So
Yeah, I would agree. We
that's
split the difference.
all right.
That's
So
cool. I can do it.
3D Rivals race this watch while folding clothes. If you haven't seen it, I would say go see it. I'm surprised this movie hasn't been making much. It is a Pixar movie. But people have been going to see Jurassic Road, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they keep saying it's on top of it.
it's still number one. I don't know about y'all, but like my theater was empty.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, mine was
I
too.
let y'all
It was
know.
maybe
It was packed at the drive-in.
Right.
it was empty.
Yeah.
Like, when
Like
I got
literally.
there, we were literally the only ones in the theater until the movie started. And I
Exactly.
really
Like I was late, and you know I'm never late, but I was late. And I was the first one there, and I'm like, yo, it'd be super weird if I stayed the first person here. But it was really just
I
two other people.
I've
at
been
the
to
end of
see
the
a
day.
movie where I was the only person in the theater. And I'm like,
I mean,
man,
that
this
makes-
is weird.
That makes sense if it's like early in the morning or something. Like I would do that if I like really don't like I'm about to go to this movie at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
But
That's
but
when I
like
saw
for
Batman.
right, I did see Batman at 10 a.m. But like for a family movie, that's highly unusual.
Yeah, I went at 4:15 this afternoon on
Yeah.
Sunday, so I figured there would be a bunch of people.
Yeah. So no, not doing that great.
Was it the timing?
Yeah.
guess
I guess it's the
because you-
timing, yeah.
You would only gave Jurassic Park 1 week. It
Yeah,
could be because kids, I mean, because people are going to take their kids to see Jurassic Park, especially since this Jurassic Park is not as scary as like the first one or whatever. Like you could take a little kid to see this movie.
Yeah,
That
and
movie.
since kids are on vacation, people can go see Lightyear anytime. There's no rush to see it now, you know.
Right.
Um,
And also, I'm sorry because I interrupted you, but it makes me wonder if they're going to say like in what, a month or so it'll be on Disney Plus.
well, I think all of the Disney movies did
Oh yeah.
45 days, right?
Right. So at the end of the day, it's like, do I see Jurassic World in theater, which will be better, or watch, Lightyear in my living room?
Right. If I was a
Yeah.
person before I saw
Balance
these
out.
two movies and you were to put, oh, which one of these do you want to see in theater, Jurassic World or Lightyear? I would probably choose Jurassic World because it's going to be more of a
Yeah, you got.
theater
Mm-hmm.
experience. And I can watch
Mm-hmm.
Lightyear at home, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but they're going to sell toys, so I don't even think that matters much to Disney because they're going to sell toys. And
Yeah,
that's
they're
what
gonna sell. They're definitely gonna sell. Like I was at Target the other day and I wanted to buy it. So
we literally
yeah,
bought a
they're
Lightyear toy. So, yeah. Yeah. But
yeah, they'll get it. They're from buy something on it.
yeah, they'll get it. So no problem. And then we look forward to the Woody movie next. Or no, Bo Peep.
Please
What's it
don't.
gonna call? What's it gonna be called?
Bo Peep?
Bo Peep.
Bo. No, it'll just be called Bo.
Or okay. I don't want to see that, but okay.
Wait, isn't she a lamp?
Yeah, she's a lamp.
Oh no.
Well, she won't be in her movie.
Oh right. You right.
Yeah. But all right, if you haven't seen Lightyear, well, I don't know, whatever. If you want to go see it, you definitely go see it. I thought it was an okay movie to go watch. Or you can wait till it gets on Disney Plus. I guess it doesn't matter. But with that being said, make sure you guys, if you're listening to this in a podcast form, leave a rating and a review. We definitely appreciate that. And man, I just thought there was a Genesis Toy Story game, wasn't it? Y'all remember that?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember
Wow.
that. Mm-hmm.
I remember we rented it from
It was cool 'cause
Blockbuster.
it looked like kind of 3D on the Genesis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they had the same art style as the movie.
Interesting.
Yeah. Y'all remember it was a Pizza Planet and you had to like run through it.
Oh.
The cup, the drink, and the fries.
Oh yeah.
When people came by.
Oh,
Yeah, that game was fun, man.
wow. Oh, I'm sorry I went on that tangent during the conclusion. I just thought about it though. But okay. But yeah, make sure you guys leave a rating and review. That definitely helps us out. If you like the podcast, make sure you tell other people about it. We always appreciate it. And with that being said, we will catch you next time. Peace out.